I'm inviting my black maid to the party. Let her see how her betters live. Richard Whitmore III, Millionaire, Newport Beach, says this Friday morning. Tomorrow, summer gala at his $43 million mansion. 300 wealthy families. He calls in Maggie Anderson, black woman. 5 years cleaning his toilets. $19.50 monthly. Tomorrow, 4 p.m. Wear whatever thrift store dress you own. I want my friends to see the difference between people who built empires and people like you who scrub floors. You'll stand there while everyone stares, then leave. That's the joke, watching you pretend you belong where you never will. Saturday, 4 p.m. Maggie walks through those doors. She's not wearing thrift store. She's dressed like absolute royalty, a queen. Every millionaire turns to look. Conversations stop. The entire room falls silent, stunned. In the next 12 minutes, everything Richard Whitmore built collapses. You have to see this. Subscribe now. Because when she walks in, 60 millionaires learn the most expensive lesson of their lives. Never humiliate someone who's been quietly preparing to destroy you. Maggie Anderson's life has a rhythm. Wake 5:30 a.m. Make breakfast for Emma, her 12-year-old daughter. Drive 31 minutes from their Santa Ana apartment to Newport Beach. Arrive at Whitmore Mansion by 8. Clean, cook, fold laundry, leave by 5. Drive home, help Emma with homework, sleep, repeat. 5 years, $1,950 monthly, cash in an envelope, no benefits, no sick days, no contract beyond one page signed January 2019 saying independent contractor and nothing else. She's a black woman cleaning a white millionaire's house in a neighborhood where the only other black people wear uniforms like hers. Gardeners, drivers, nannies, always working, never guests. Richard Whitmore's mansion, $43 million of marble and glass, 6 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms. Maggie scrubs every inch. She knows which bathroom his teenage son uses because she cleans up after him. She knows when Whitmore comes home drunk because she cleans vomit off imported Italian tile. She also knows what they say when they think she can't hear. You people! Dozens of times. From Whitmore, from his wife, from dinner guests who don't bother lowering voices when she's serving drinks. You people don't understand what it takes to build real wealth. You people should be grateful for opportunities like this. She's heard worse. Comments about her hair, her skin. Once, Whitmore's wife told a friend while Maggie folded laundry 10 feet away, "I don't know why they all have so many children they can't afford. They, them, those people. Never names, never human." But here's what they don't know. Maggie has been documenting everything. October 2023. She starts recording. Audio only. Phone in apron pocket. 52 files now. 8 hours, 12 minutes total. Whitmore's voice. Instructions violating California labor law. Comments crossing every line. She also keeps a spreadsheet. 312 entries. Every week for 5 years. Hours worked versus hours paid. Tasks assigned versus job description. Every unpaid overtime. Every time Whitmore refused proper payment. California minimum wage for domestic workers, 2024, $17.50 per hour. 40 hours weekly, 4 weeks monthly, $2,800 minimum. She gets $19.50. Difference, $8.50. Every month. Stolen. 5 years. $51,000 stolen while she was told to be grateful. 2 weeks ago, something changed. May 25th. Domestic Worker Support Group. Church basement, Santa Ana. That's where she meets Emma Clark. White woman, 29, runs Labor Watch Orange County blog. 85,000 followers. Emma specializes in taking down employers who think they're untouchable. Emma reviews Maggie's files. The audio, the spreadsheet. Looks up with something like awe. "You've been building a case for 8 months. Does it matter?" Maggie asks. "Who believes me over him?" "Everyone," Emma says. "Once we make them see you first, once they see you as human, evidence matters, but first they have to see you." Emma tells her about the non-profit donor network. Armani dresses, Louboutin heels, donated by wealthy women wanting to help working women fight back. Strategic visibility. "If someone invited you into their world as a joke," Emma says carefully, "what if you showed up in a way that forced them to see you differently, as exactly who you are, a woman who knows her worth, but in a package they can't dismiss?" 3 days later, the invitation arrives. "You're invited! Come as you are!" followed by 3 laughing emojis. Maggie stares at those 3 laughing emojis for a long time. Then she calls Emma. "He just made a mistake." "The biggest one of his life," Emma agrees. "Let's get you ready." Saturday morning, June 8th. Emma Clark arrives at Maggie's apartment at 9 a.m. with 3 volunteers, all women who understand what's about to happen. The Armani dress hangs on the bedroom door. Black label, size 6, $8,200 retail. Simple cut, no drama, just quality that speaks for itself. Emma unzips the garment bag. This was donated by a tech executive's wife. She said she wanted it to help someone who needed armor. "It's just a dress," Maggie says. "No, it's a statement. It says, I belong anywhere I choose. When you walk in wearing this, every assumption shatters. That's when they see you." The makeup artist, Filipino woman named Rosa, does Maggie's face. Foundation matching her skin perfectly, subtle eyeshadow, lipstick the color of quiet confidence. Nothing costume, just Maggie, enhanced. The hairstylist, black woman named Keisha, works on Maggie's hair. Natural texture, professional, beautiful, no straightening, no hiding. "You're gorgeous," Keisha says. "Anyone ever tell you that?" Maggie shakes her head. "Not in 5 years. Then they're blind." 2 p.m. Maggie tries on the dress. The silk is cool, the fit perfect. She sees someone she recognizes and someone she doesn't. The woman in the mirror looks like she belongs in boardrooms, in galas, in rooms where decisions get made. "How do you feel?" Emma asks. "Scared." "Good. That means it matters. When you walk in, remember, you were invited. You're not crashing. Walk like you have every right to be there, because you do." Emma hands her a clutch purse. Inside, phone with 52 audio files queued, Excel spreadsheet, attorney Sarah Bennett's number on speed dial. This entrance isn't the end, it's the beginning. 3:30 p.m. They leave for Newport Beach. Emma drives. Maggie sits in the passenger seat, hands folded. What if they just laugh anyway? Then they laugh. But people like Whitmore are used to poor people looking poor. Used to black women looking like what they expect. The uniform, the humble appearance. That's comfortable. That's what makes them feel secure. But when you walk in looking like wealth, like power, like you belong, it breaks their brains. They don't know how to process it. And in that confusion, they actually see you. For the first time, they see you as human. Once they see you as human, everything after matters. 4:05 p.m. They reach the mansion, people visible through windows, all white, all wealthy, all unprepared. Emma parks across the street. "Ready?" Maggie thinks about her daughter, about 5 years of you people, about $850 stolen monthly, about $51,000 total, about being told to be grateful, about scrubbing toilets for a man whose dinner guests mock those people while she serves drinks. She thinks about the 52 audio files. I'm ready. 4:08 p.m. Maggie opens the car door, steps onto pavement in Louboutin heels, walks toward the mansion entrance. Inside, Richard Whitmore is probably telling someone a joke about his black maid, who actually thought she was invited for real. Maggie reaches for the door handle. She opens it. 4:08 p.m. The door opens. Golden hour light floods through windows behind Maggie, backlighting her silhouette. For a moment, no one can see clearly, just a figure in a doorway backlit by California sunset. Then she steps inside. Amanda Hastings, wife of a real estate investor, sees her first. Her champagne glass stops midair, freezes, her brain trying to process something that doesn't compute. This is not what was supposed to happen. Jeffrey Chen, venture capitalist beside Amanda, turns to see what she's staring at. His conversation dies mid-word. Acquisition hangs unfinished. Then someone else turns, then another, like dominoes, like a wave. 60 people. 60 conversations dying, 60 heads turning, 8 seconds for complete silence. Maggie Anderson walks in wearing an $8,000 Armani dress that fits like it was made for her. Black, simple, elegant, quality that speaks its own language. Louboutin heels, red bottoms flashing with each step on white marble. Click, click, click. She doesn't look around nervously, doesn't apologize with her posture, doesn't shrink. She walks straight ahead, shoulders back, chin level, making eye contact. The walk of someone who knows exactly where she belongs. She is not wearing thrift store. She is not wearing Walmart. She is not wearing what poverty looks like when it tries. She is wearing power, dignity. Every assumption they made about who she was supposed to be shattering with every step. She looks like royalty, like a queen, and 60 millionaires are completely stunned. Richard Whitmore sees her. His face goes through confusion. Who is that? Then recognition. Wait, that's Maggie? Then panic as his brain tries to reconcile the woman he pays $19.50 to clean toilets with the woman who just walked in looking like she owns the place. His mouth opens, closes, opens again. Maggie? Too high. Too uncertain. This was supposed to be funny. His black maid showing up uncomfortable, letting everyone see the difference. This is not that. You actually came. Maggie stops walking, 10 feet from him. Eye contact, steady, unflinching. You invited me to come as myself, Mr. Whitmore. This is myself. Thank you for the invitation. The room is so silent you can hear someone's phone buzz across the space. Then someone starts clapping. Amanda Hastings. She sets down her glass and brings her hands together. Slow, deliberate. Then Jeffrey Chen joins her. Then a woman near the windows, then 5, then 10, then 20. Not everyone. Maybe 30 out of 60, but enough. Enough to tell Whitmore this moment isn't playing according to script. Enough to tell him his joke just backfired. Some aren't clapping, they're staring, trying to understand, trying to reconcile the help with this woman in Armani. Their brains stuttering, systems crashing, does not compute. Maggie doesn't wait for Whitmore to figure out his next move. She turns toward a group near the champagne table. A Latino waiter approaches with a tray. She accepts a glass, takes one small sip, makes eye contact with 3 people including Stephanie Hall, another black woman, a caterer who looks shocked, then slowly smiles with recognition. Maggie stays exactly 12 minutes, long enough to be seen, long enough for the moment to burn into memory, long enough for every phone to come out. She sets down her glass, half full, walks back toward the door. As she passes Whitmore, he forces a laugh. Nobody joins him. Well, that was quite an entrance. Maggie stops, turns, looks at him. Doesn't say anything, just looks. The kind of look that says, I see exactly who you are. Soon everyone else will too. Then she walks out into 4:20 p.m. sunshine. Behind her, Amanda Hastings is already posting to Instagram. Photo of Maggie mid-stride, Armani dress catching light, Louboutin heels, absolute confidence. Caption, when your boss invites you as a joke but you show up as a queen, followed by crown emoji and hashtags for dignity, black excellence, and respect. 4:23 p.m., post goes live. 6 p.m., 45,000 shares. Midnight, 1.2 million views. Sunday morning, 2.3 million people have seen Maggie Anderson walk into that room. Richard Whitmore's life is about to change forever. 6:12 p.m., Amanda Hastings' Instagram post, 340 likes in 8 minutes. The algorithm notices, pushes it to explore pages, to hashtags, to people following wealth, fashion, social justice. By 7 p.m., someone has screen-recorded video. 4 minutes, 23 seconds. Maggie's entrance, the silence, Whitmore's failed humor, the applause, his face. It hits TikTok with hashtags, Made in Armani, Black Queen, Dignity Wins. 9 p.m., 340,000 views. 10 p.m., 1.2 million. Comments explode. This is how you handle disrespect. She didn't say much. That entrance said everything. The way every person had to recalibrate their assumptions. Black excellence on full display. She said, you thought this was a joke? Watch me turn it into a statement. The silence, that's power. But here's what changes everything. The video doesn't just go viral in black social media or labor advocacy circles. It goes everywhere. Newport Beach Country Club members sharing it, real estate networks discussing it, white suburban moms sharing it with "This is important" captions. Everyone has an opinion. Some comments. Why is this news? She just wore a dress? Probably borrowed it. Making something out of nothing. Playing the race card. But the majority, you can see the exact moment they realized she wasn't the punchline. 5 years of disrespect answered in 12 minutes. This is what refusal looks like. Because here's the thing. When a black person refuses the box you built, refuses the script you wrote, shows up as fully human in a space designed to deny their humanity, it forces everyone to confront the fact that the box existed in the first place. 8:15 p.m. Whitmore's phone rings. John Bradford, major investor. Rich, we need to talk about this video. What video? The one with 2 million views of you trying to humiliate your housekeeper. Check your phone. Whitmore opens Instagram, sees the post, sees comments, sees his name mentioned 8,000 times, sees Newport Beach racism trending. His stomach drops. 8:32 p.m. Martinez Holdings calls. Richard, the board has concerns about optics. 9:01 p.m. Board member Stevens. Rich, what the hell? My daughter's friends are calling me racist by association. 9:45 p.m. His wife Diane comes downstairs. Richard, my phone has 300 messages. My book club is asking if we're racist. The school is calling. What did you do? I invited her as a joke. How was I supposed to know she'd show up looking like that? Like what, Richard? Like a human being with dignity? 10:40 p.m. Whitmore calls his attorney. Fire her, tonight. Send termination immediately. Attorney David Ross hesitates. Rich, terrible timing. It'll look like retaliation. I don't care. She made me look like a fool in my own house. Send it now. 11:58 p.m. The email arrives in Maggie's inbox. Subject, immediate termination of independent contractor agreement. Effective immediately, your independent contractor agreement with Whitmore Luxury Properties is void. Final payment processed within 7 business days per California law. No further communication necessary. This decision is final. 63 words. Cold, legal, vindictive. Maggie reads it on her couch. The Armani dress is back in its garment bag. Louboutin heels back in their box. She's wearing sweatpants. Her daughter asleep in the bedroom. She forwards it to Emma Clark. He took the bait, Emma calls immediately. He fired you 12 hours after the video went viral. He's panicking. This is mistake number 2. What was mistake 1? Inviting you. Sunday morning, 8 a.m. Maggie's phone, 82 missed calls, 340 texts, 50 media requests, local news, national outlets, BET, The Root, Essence, CNN. Everyone wants to know who is the woman in the Armani dress. Emma screens every call, creates media strategy. This isn't about fame. This is about justice. 9:30 a.m. Emma posts to her blog. The woman in the video is Maggie Anderson. Black, single mother, worked for Richard Whitmore 5 years, cleaning his mansion for $1,950 monthly, $850 below California minimum wage. Last night, 12 hours after 2 million people watched her walk into his party with dignity, he fired her via email. Here's why that matters. The post includes screenshots, termination email, pay stubs, the one-page contract saying independent contractor and nothing else. 30,000 views in 40 minutes. Meanwhile, across America, domestic workers watch the video on repeat. Black women who clean white houses, Latina women who raise white children, Asian women who care for white elderly. They're watching Maggie walk into that room, and they're seeing themselves, seeing possibility, seeing what happens when you refuse the script. Some start remembering their own stories, their own evidence, their own stolen wages, their own "you people" comments, their own moments of being treated as less than human, and some start thinking, maybe I don't have to accept this anymore. This is bigger than one viral video. This is bigger than one Millionaire's party. This is about to become something Richard Whitmore never saw coming. Monday, June 10th, 10 a.m., Santa Ana Community Center. 43 people, 6 cameras, 15 reporters. This is not typical Monday morning. Maggie enters. Not Armani today. Black pants, white blouse, hair in professional bun, no makeup. The contrast is deliberate. Saturday was visibility. Today is credibility. She walks to the podium. Emma Clark beside her with laptop. Attorney Sarah Bennett sits at the table. Reporters settle, cameras focus. Maggie takes a breath. Saturday night, you saw a photograph, a video, a black woman in an expensive dress walking into a white millionaire's party. You saw a moment. What you didn't see: 8 months of preparation, 5 years of being treated as less than human. The systematic exploitation that made that moment necessary. Pause. Complete silence. Every recorder running. I have 52 audio recordings, 8 hours, 12 minutes total. Mr. Whitmore's voice, instructions, comments, things he thought didn't matter because I was just the help. All documented, time-stamped, saved. Emma clicks the laptop. Audio file number 1 appears. October 14th, 2023, 2:34 p.m. Maggie presses play. Whitmore's voice fills the room. I don't pay you to think, Maggie. I pay you to clean. If you can't follow simple instructions, where else would someone like you even work? You people need to be grateful for what you get. You people. The phrase hangs like smoke. Reporters shift, cameras rolling. Someone mouths, "Damn." Maggie stops the recording. That's one of 52. They get worse. Next slide. Excel spreadsheet. 312 rows. I kept records every week for 5 years. Hours worked versus hours paid. California minimum wage, 2024, $17.50 per hour. 40 hours weekly, $2,800 monthly. I received $19.50. Difference, $8.50. 60 months, $51,000 stolen from one black woman told she should be grateful. The spreadsheet scrolls, week after week. Same pattern, same theft. Sarah Bennett stands. We have bank records. Tax documents showing Mr. Whitmore claimed household employee expenses that don't match actual payments. 6 other former employees with similar stories, similar evidence. This isn't one disgruntled worker. This is systematic exploitation spanning 8 years. A reporter raises her hand. "Miss Anderson, why now? Why not report before?" Maggie looks at her. "Because reporting requires being seen. People like me are invisible until we decide not to be." The dress Saturday wasn't about fashion. It was about forcing people to see me as human before I showed evidence. Because evidence alone doesn't matter if you don't see us as people first. Emma clicks. 6 photographs. 6 women, 3 black, 2 Latina, 1 white with Eastern European accent. 6 complaints filed with California Labor Commissioner. Same employer, same pattern, wage theft, dehumanizing treatment, illegal classification. 4 of these 6 are women of color. The 2 white women, both immigrants with accents. Mr. Whitmore has a type. He targets the most vulnerable, the ones he thinks can't fight back. The press conference runs 43 minutes. By 11:05, clips are playing on every news channel. The audio of Whitmore saying, "You people." The spreadsheet showing 51,000 stolen. The 6 faces. The narrative has shifted. This isn't just viral moment. This is documentation, evidence, a legal case with teeth. But Richard Whitmore won't take this lying down. By 2 p.m., his attorneys have drafted their response. The real fight is beginning. Emma Clark's blog publishes Tuesday, 6 a.m. The Whitmore Files, Part 1, The Pattern of Exploitation. 3 hours, 120,000 reads. Comments flooding faster than moderation can handle. This is Pulitzer-level journalism. Why isn't mainstream media covering this detail? I worked for a family like this. Same thing. The Post is methodical, surgical, devastating. Stephanie Hall, 33, black woman, housekeeper, 2018 to 2020. On camera, face visible. Same thing. Cash payments below minimum wage. No overtime, no benefits. When I asked about health insurance, he laughed. Health insurance? You should be grateful I'm paying you at all. You know how many black women would take this job? Those exact words. March 14th, 2019. I have it recorded. Gloria Martinez, 45, Latina, 2015 to 2018. He called us the help to our faces as insult. Told guests I was one of the good ones because I didn't complain and knew my place. When I asked for minimum wage, he said he could replace me with someone less demanding within 24 hours. Like wanting legal wages is demanding. Maria Santos, 38. Latina immigrant, Guatemala, legal resident, 2016 to 2019. He made comments about my English, my accent. Told me if I reported anything, he had connections with immigration and could make my life very difficult. I'm legal, 12 years, but he used my fear anyway. 3 more women. 2 black, 1 white immigrant from Moldova. Pattern identical. Hired as independent contractors avoiding taxes, paid cash below minimum wage, subjected to dehumanizing comments about race or origin, terminated without cause when they questioned treatment. 6 women. $288,000 stolen over 8 years. Average per victim, $48,000. Maggie's bank deposits, 18 months, 1950, 1950, 1950. Same amount. Clockwork. Cash deposits, same Chase branch. But Emma includes comparison data. White housekeepers in Newport Beach with similar responsibilities average $3,200 monthly. The gap isn't just minimum wage, it's about who gets paid market rate and who gets paid whatever their employer decides. California law, 2024, $17.50 per hour. 40 hours weekly, $2,800 minimum monthly. Maggie received $19.50. Shortfall, $850, 60 months, $51,000 stolen while told to be grateful. The spreadsheet shows systematic hour manipulation. Week 43, worked 52 hours, paid for 30. Week 44, 48 hours paid for 32. The independent contractor label gave Whitmore permission to avoid overtime, avoid benefits, avoid accountability, and permission to target women he assumed wouldn't fight back. Women needing money too badly. Women not speaking English as first language. Black or brown women in white neighborhoods. Women with children depending on them. Women taught their entire lives that people like them should be grateful for crumbs. This escalates from civil wage theft to potential federal crime. Richard Whitmore's tax returns obtained through legal discovery show household employee expense deductions totaling $68,000 annually. Schedule C, line 28, claimed every year 2021 through 23. Total, $204,000 over 3 years. But Maggie's actual cash payments, $1,950 monthly times 12 equals $23,400 annually. Discrepancy, $44,600 yearly. Times 3 years, $133,800 unexplained deductions. Two possibilities. Either Whitmore is lying to the IRS about household employee expenses for larger tax deductions, or he's paying additional cash under the table to other workers and not reporting properly. Either way, federal tax evasion. Either way, serious penalties, including potential prison time. Emma's analysis is careful. She doesn't accuse. She presents numbers, asks questions, lets readers and federal authorities draw conclusions. 34 pages of email screenshots, internal communications, group texts with country club members, messages revealing not just financial exploitation but deep racial contempt. Email March 15, 2022. Whitmore to group chat Weekend Warriors, his golf buddies. Subject, LOL. Told Maggie to use vinegar on marble countertops. She actually did it. Whole thing stained. Had to pay $3,000 to refinish. These people will believe anything. Good help is hard to find, but cheap help is easier. Followed by laughing emoji. These people appears 17 times across 34 pages. Another June 2023 discussing dinner party. Make sure Maggie wears the uniform I bought. White apron, black dress. Very traditional, very Gone with the Wind. My mother-in-law loves that look. Makes her nostalgic. Followed by laughing emoji. The Gone with the Wind reference, a film glorifying slavery, is not subtle. Another September 2023. The new one started today. Guatemala or El Salvador or wherever. Barely speaks English. Perfect. Less backtalk, less demands. These immigrant women work harder. They know what they have to lose. Another discussing Stephanie Hall after she quit. S finally left. Good riddance. She was getting too comfortable. Started asking about health care, about overtime. I don't need that attitude. Plenty more where she came from. 34 pages. Some coded, some explicit. All revealing a worldview where black and brown domestic workers exist as permanent underclass, expected to be grateful, silent, to know their place, to accept whatever treatment and payment employers decide. Emma's comment at section end. This is who he is when he thinks no one's watching. This is what he says about women who clean his house, prepare his food, care for his children. This is the contempt that made Saturday's joke possible. The dress didn't create the conflict. The conflict was already there. The dress just made it visible. Emma follows the money, revealing something deeper than wage theft. Whitmore's cleaning supply vendor Pristine Services, LLC. Monthly charges, $340. Retail cost, same supplies at commercial rates, $230 monthly. Difference, $110 monthly. 5 years, $6,600. Small in isolation. But Emma digs deeper. Pristine Services LLC Incorporation documents, Delaware. Registered agent Gregory Schneider, Whitmore's personal accountant. 12 years. The supplies aren't from an independent vendor. They're from a company controlled by Whitmore's own accountant. The overcharge stays in the network. Kickback scheme disguised as business expense. Emma identifies 11 other vendors with similar patterns. Landscaping, pool maintenance, window washing, all incorporated Delaware, all with ownership ties to Whitmore or associates, all charging above market, all deducted as business expenses on corporate returns. The pattern suggests sophisticated money movement designed to reduce taxable income while enriching connected parties. This isn't just wage theft, this is shell game with multiple companies, accounts, and ways of hiding income and evading taxes. White-collar crime, the kind happening in boardrooms and country clubs. Hard to prove without someone inside or someone willing to dig through years of financial records. Blog post ends, More evidence coming. Investigation ongoing. If you worked for Richard Whitmore or Whitmore Luxury Properties and experienced similar treatment, especially if you're a woman of color or immigrant, contact us through the secure link. Your story matters. Your evidence matters. You matter. There are more of us than them. Noon, Tuesday, 260,000 views. 5 p.m., 400,000 comments. 38,000 climbing. Local news picks it up. National outlets call. The story metastasizes beyond viral video, beyond one woman in a dress, beyond one party. Wednesday, 10 a.m., Emma receives certified mail. 8 pages, legal letterhead, Whitmore and Associates LLP, cease and desist. Your client has engaged in systematic defamatory campaign designed to destroy our client's reputation through false and misleading information with racial animus and malicious intent. Unless all content is removed within 48 hours, we will file suit seeking damages exceeding $5 million. Furthermore, we will pursue criminal charges for theft of proprietary communications, harassment, and conspiracy. This is your final warning. Emma reads twice, looks across the coffee shop table at Maggie. They added racial animus. They're flipping this, making you the racist for calling out his racism. Classic Darvo. Deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender. What do? We don't blink. The moment we blink, they win. Ready for this to get worse before better? Maggie thinks about her daughter, about rent, about no longer having income, about the 52 files and 312 entries and $850 stolen monthly for 5 years while told to be grateful. I'm ready. She's not ready. Not really, because she has no idea what's coming next. The DDoS attack starts Friday, 3 p.m. Emma's blog goes dark. Thousands of requests per second flooding the server. 11 hours offline. 4:30 p.m. Her hosting provider calls, voice nervous. Emma, we're getting pressure. Legal, financial, we can't say from where, but it's significant. We don't have resources to fight this. You might want to move to a more robust platform. Translation? We're being threatened. You're on your own. Emma spends Friday night migrating to an encrypted server in Iceland. $850 monthly. Money she doesn't have. But the alternative is silence. The blog returns Saturday morning. But intimidation doesn't stop. Saturday, 2:14 a.m. Maggie's asleep when knocking starts. 4 minutes continuous. Loud enough to wake Emma, to wake Mrs. Chen across the hall. Maggie looks through peephole. Man in dark jacket. No uniform, no ID. No reason to be there at 2 a.m. except one. She doesn't open the door. Calls Mrs. Chen instead. Can you turn on your porch light? Mrs. Chen's light flicks on. The man looks toward it, hesitates, walks away quickly. Sunday morning, police report. Officer Rodriguez takes her statement seriously. Writes, probable intimidation tactic targeting woman of color in high-profile employment dispute. Unable to identify suspect. Recommend increased vigilance. Case number 2024-0856, but intimidation spreads. Maria Santos, witness 4, calls Emma Saturday afternoon, voice shaking. Someone called my daughter's school, said I was illegal, said they'd report me to ICE. I'm a citizen, 12 years. But they scared my daughter. She came home asking if we're being deported. She's 8. I have 3 kids. I can't risk this. I'm so sorry. Click. Dial tone. One witness down. Fear working exactly as designed. Monday afternoon. Maggie's daughter comes home crying, won't talk. Goes to her room, door closes. Lock clicks. 20 minutes later, Maggie knocks. Baby, can I come in? Sophia's dad works with Mr. Whitmore. Maggie's stomach drops. She said you're trying to steal from a good man. Her dad told her people like us play the race card when we get caught being lazy and entitled. People like us. 12 years old, already learning the language. Mom, what's the race card? Am I supposed to be embarrassed? How do you explain to a 12-year-old that telling truth about racism gets called playing the race card? No, baby, you're never supposed to be embarrassed for telling truth, even when it costs you. Tuesday. Emma's blog traffic drops 60%. Not because people aren't interested, but mysteriously posts aren't showing up in searches, aren't being promoted by algorithms. Someone with resources is making her voice quieter. Wednesday. Whitmore's attorneys file preliminary injunction motion. Court order to force Emma to remove all blog content pending defamation resolution. Hearing July 8th, Thursday. Maggie checks her bank. $1,240. Rent due July 1st, $1,650. She applies to 8 housekeeping positions. 6 don't respond. 2. Position filled. 1 rejection sent by mistake. Includes forwarded message. FYI, this is the woman from the video. Rich Whitmore says she's trouble. FYI, they're not even hiding it. The blacklist is real. Friday evening, 2 a.m. Maggie at kitchen table. Can't sleep. Daughter crying herself to sleep every night. Emma's blog under attack. Witness backing out. No income. Rent due in 8 days. Legal threats mounting. She opens the photo on her phone. Herself in Armani. That woman feels like someone else. Like borrowed identity for 12 minutes. "Who was she?" Maggie whispers. "That's not me. I'm just Maggie. Black woman, single mom, housekeeper, no job, no money, no safety net, just scared." The 52 audio files, the 312 entries, evidence that suddenly feels meaningless against real consequences. Against daughter being bullied. Against rent she can't pay. Against a system protecting men like Whitmore. Maybe he's right. Maybe she should have been grateful. Maybe if she'd stayed quiet, her daughter wouldn't be crying. Her finger hovers over Emma Clark's contact. Types, "I think we should stop. This isn't worth what it's doing to my daughter. Can't press send. Can't delete it. Just frozen between surrender and stubbornness, between protecting her child and teaching her child that some fights matter more than safety." The night outside is silent. Newport Beach, where Whitmore sleeps in his $43 million mansion, probably sleeps easy. His attorneys on retainer, his network protecting him, his reputation damaged but bank account fine, his children not being bullied. While here in Santa Ana, Maggie sits in dark, wondering if the Armani dress was worth losing everything, wondering if refusing invisibility is worth the price of being seen, wondering if dignity matters when you can't pay rent. 3 a.m., 3:01, 3:02, clock ticks. The night gives no answers, just silence, and the weight of impossible choices between dignity and survival. Late June feels like drowning. June 28th, 3 days until rent. June 29th, 2 days. June 30th, tomorrow. Bank balance, $1,240. Rent, $1,650. The math doesn't work. Her daughter stopped talking about school, just comes home, straight to room, door closes. Sometimes Maggie hears crying, soft, muffled, the sound of a 12-year-old trying to be strong but failing. Emma Clark's blog traffic continues declining, 60% fewer readers, nonprofit donors backing out, too controversial, don't want to be associated with racial allegations, too political, support melting like ice. Maggie hasn't told her daughter about rent, hasn't told her they might have to move, hasn't told her that fighting for justice might cost them their home. Friday, July 1st, rent due. Maggie opens her laptop, stares at email draft she started 3 days ago but can't finish. "Dear Miss Johnson, I am writing to inform you that I will be unable to pay rent in full." Can't type the words, can't admit defeat in writing. 2:38 a.m. Apartment dark except phone glow. She opens the photo. The entrance, the Armani dress, the moment she thought would change everything. Who was that woman? She thinks. Not me, just someone I pretended to be for 12 minutes. Someone who could afford to fight back. Someone brave. I'm not brave, I'm just tired. She opens text thread with Emma. The unsent message still there. I think we should stop. Thumb hovers. This would be easy. One press. Call Whitmore's attorneys tomorrow. Accept whatever settlement, sign the NDA, take the money, pay rent, protect her daughter, go back to invisible, back to the help. Back to accepting this is how the world works. She can almost feel the relief, the weight lifting, the fight ending, safety returning, her daughter safe. No more bullying, no more threats, no more 2 a.m. knocking, just quiet, just survival, just normal. Except normal was the problem. Normal was $850 stolen monthly. Normal was you people. Normal was teaching her daughter that black women who clean houses should be grateful for crumbs. But fighting back broke her daughter anyway. So what's the point? What good is dignity if your child is crying? What good is justice if you can't pay rent? 3 a.m., 3:01, 3:02, clock ticks. Maggie hasn't moved, hasn't deleted the message, hasn't sent it, just sits in paralysis of impossible choices. Outside, Santa Ana begins its slow wake. Garbage trucks, early commuters. The city of people who work before dawn so the world functions. Invisible people, essential people, disposable people. Maybe they're right, she whispers. Maybe I'm making too big a deal. Maybe dignity is a luxury I can't afford. Her phone screen goes black. She doesn't wake it, just sits in total darkness. This is the moment 90% quit. Not because they're weak, because the system is designed to make quitting the only rational choice. Because exhaustion and isolation and financial pressure and threats to children aren't accidents. They're features. They're how power maintains itself. 3:15 a.m. Still hasn't moved, still frozen. Then her phone buzzes, loud in silence. She jumps. Notification. GoFundMe. $50 donated. Message. I'm a black woman. I was a housekeeper too, 20 years, never spoke up. Watching you fight makes me wish I had. You're not alone. Don't stop. Please don't stop. Another notification. $20. From a domestic worker in Texas. 100. From someone told to be grateful. 25, 50, 200. 42 donations in 6 minutes. $2,840. Messages. Don't stop. We see you. You're fighting for all of us. Your daughter will understand someday. For my grandmother who cleaned houses in Jim Crow South. Tears come, not from despair, from something else, something she'd forgotten, from remembering she's not alone, from remembering her fight matters to people she's never met, from remembering that dignity isn't luxury, it's necessity. She deletes the unsent message, types new one. Still fighting, let's finish this. The GoFundMe wasn't started by Emma Clark, wasn't started by Maggie, wasn't started by anyone they knew. Maria Gonzalez, domestic worker organizer, Los Angeles, 43, cleans houses in Beverly Hills, saw the video, read Emma's blog, recognized every pattern from her own 20 years. Tuesday, 6 a.m., she creates fundraiser. Legal defense fund for Maggie Anderson and all domestic workers fighting back. Goal, $15,000. Noon, $23,000. 5 p.m., $42,000. Day 3, $89,340 from 1,823 donors. Average donation, $49. Not from billionaires. From housekeepers, teachers, nurses, students, retirees, people who understood what it costs to fight back. Comments read like collective testimony. This happened to me in 2019, but I stayed quiet. Seeing Maggie fight makes me wish I hadn't. My mother cleaned houses 30 years. Same treatment. She died never seeing justice. This is for her. I'm a labor attorney. Taking cases pro bono, DM me. My grandmother was domestic worker during Jim Crow. She would have loved this. Donating in her memory. Something Whitmore didn't anticipate. Every attempt to silence Maggie creates more noise. Every threat generates more support. The Streisand effect meets grassroots solidarity. 43 domestic workers post video testimonials with hashtags for Maggie evidence. Domestic workers unite and Black women matter. Black, Latina, Asian, immigrant women, each echoing patterns: wage theft, dehumanization, exploitation, retaliation, being told to be grateful. The problem is bigger than one millionaire. It's systemic, and Maggie's fight is making it visible. June 20th, 2:15 p.m. Unknown number calls Maggie. Miss Anderson, Sarah Bennett, labor attorney, 18 years specializing in employment discrimination and wage theft. I've been following your situation. I'd like to represent you, pro bono. This case is bigger than one employer. This is about precedent, about protecting an entire class of vulnerable workers, especially women of color, and I believe we can win. Emma's nonprofit, losing donors 2 weeks ago, suddenly receives funding influx. $43,000 in 1 week. From unions, from racial justice organizations, from women's rights groups, from people recognizing landmark potential. NBC LA runs 6 p.m. segment. In Newport Beach, a Black housekeeper's fight for dignity has become a national movement. Tonight, we examine how one woman in an Armani dress sparked conversation about invisible labor, wage theft, racial exploitation, and who gets justice in America. The story is no longer containable. It's metastasized. It's become a symbol, a movement, and symbols don't die quietly. But while community rallies, something else happens behind the scenes. Los Angeles, IRS office. Analyst Karen White opens manila envelope. No return address. Postmarked Newport Beach. Inside, 80 pages, tax returns, bank statements, vendor contracts, all related to Richard Whitmore III, all showing significant discrepancies. Anonymous. By page 12, she picks up her phone. Sir, I think we need to open an investigation. June 28th, 9:15 a.m. Richard Whitmore sits in his home office. Morning coffee, Wall Street Journal, phone rings. Gregory Schneider, his accountant, 12 years. Rich, we have a problem. IRS audit notice. Whitmore sets down coffee. For what? Last 3 years. Letter 3,592. They're examining personal and corporate returns. all household employee deductions, all vendor payments, all independent contractor classifications. Based on what? Says, based on information received. Someone tipped them off, someone with access to internal records, someone close. Whitmore's mind races. Emma Clark? No, she's a blogger, doesn't have his tax returns. Maggie? No, housekeeper, never had office access. Who else? What kind of documentation? Gregory's voice tightens. 80 pages, tax returns, bank statements, vendor contracts, corporate filings, documents showing discrepancies between what you claimed and actually paid. Someone compiled a comprehensive package. Anonymous to IRS, call ends. Whitmore stares at phone. Someone inside, someone with access, someone who decided exposure was worth the cost. That afternoon, consequences cascade. 3 p.m., John Bradford. Termination notice, Harbor Point Development, $6.3 million. Due to reputational concerns and pending federal investigation, exercising termination clause immediately. 3:40 p.m., Martinez Holdings, $8 million, same message. 4:15 p.m., third investor. More millions evaporating. End of Friday, $18 million in contracts terminated. Not because of viral video, because IRS audit means serious, means federal, means criminal potential, means investors can't afford association risk. August 5th. California Department of Labor Standards Enforcement issues subpoena. Richard Whitmore ordered to appear before Commissioner Linda Rodriguez. August 22nd, 10 a.m. Case OC 2024, 6633. Open to media and public. Whitmore's board calls emergency meeting. Viral video. 6 accusers. Federal audit. State subpoena. GoFundMe at 90,000. National media. Company reputation in free fall. They don't fire him yet. But message is clear. Resolve this immediately or we'll remove you. Meanwhile, Gregory Schneider receives his own call. Federal prosecutors, Tuesday afternoon. Mr. Schneider, we'd like to discuss your professional relationship with Richard Whitmore. Specifically, what you knew about household employee classification, when you knew it, and whether you'd be interested in cooperation agreement. Cooperation agreement. Prosecutor language for, tell us everything, we'll grant immunity. Gregory thinks about 12 years with Whitmore. About instructions to classify workers in questionable ways. About corners he was told to cut. About objections dismissed. About the time in 2021 when Whitmore humiliated him at partner dinner, called him incompetent at basic math when Gregory questioned a deduction. About the emails he saved, instructions documented, paper trail kept because some part always knew this day might come. I need time to think. Until Monday morning, hearing is Thursday. After hearing, immunity offer expires. Gregory looks at his calendar. August 22nd, 4 days. He opens encrypted backup drive. 12 years of documentation, every questionable instruction, every objection raised. Every time Whitmore told him to do something Gregory knew violated law or ethics. He starts thinking about which files prosecutors will want. At her Santa Ana apartment, Maggie doesn't know about IRS investigation, doesn't know about federal audit, doesn't know about Gregory's decision point. She just knows rent is somehow paid, GoFundMe came through, daughter sleeping slightly better, and attorney Sarah Bennett says hearing is 3 weeks away. Prepare yourself, Sarah says. This will be public. Media will be there. His attorneys will try to discredit you. Won't be easy. But Maggie, we have evidence. We have law on our side. And now, apparently, IRS is interested too. Things are about to get very interesting for Mr. Whitmore. What should I wear? Sarah pauses, smiles. You know what? Wear the same dress. The Armani. Make it full circle. You started this fight in that dress. End it in that dress. Show them dignity doesn't change based on location. Maggie thinks about the borrowed dress, about calling Emma to arrange borrowing it one more time. Okay, one more time, let's finish this. August 22nd, 2024, 9:52 a.m., Room 4B, California Department of Labor Standards Enforcement, Santa Ana. 80 seats, 140 people. Overflow in hallway, 6 cameras, 15 reporters. Not a normal labor hearing. 9:58 a.m. Door opens. Maggie Anderson enters wearing the Armani dress. The same dress from June 8th. Black label. Simple cut. The dress that started everything. Room reacts. Gasps. Murmurs. Cameras clicking. Reporters typing. Commissioner Linda Rodriguez, Latina woman, 51, 23 years in labor law, looks up, raises eyebrow, almost smiles. Counsel, that's quite a statement. Sarah Bennett stands. My client is making a point, Commissioner. She began this journey in this dress when invited to a party as a joke. She's ending it in this dress to demonstrate dignity doesn't change based on location. She's the same woman whether cleaning toilets or testifying under oath. Noted, proceed. Maggie sits. Hands steady, breathing controlled. She's ready. 10:15 a.m. Testimony begins. Hand on Bible. State your name. Margaret Anderson. Your relationship to defendant? His housekeeper 5 years, January 2019 through June 2024. Describe your typical work week. Monday through Saturday, 8 to 5, sometimes later. No documented breaks, no overtime compensation, $19.50 monthly cash. And Mr. Whitmore frequently made comments about my race, called me you people, made jokes about the help while I served them. Told people I was one of the good ones when I stayed quiet. Sarah projects spreadsheet. 312 entries. Pattern undeniable. California minimum wage 2024, $17.50 per hour. 40 hours weekly, $2,800 monthly minimum. Miss Anderson received $19.50. Difference, $850. 60 months, $51,000 stolen from one black woman told she should be grateful. Audio file 23 plays. Whitmore's voice. I don't pay you to think, Maggie. You people need to understand your place. Clean, don't think. If you can't handle that, plenty more where you came from. You people. Echoes in silent room. 11:30 a.m. Whitmore's attorney attempts defense. Commissioner, my client maintains Miss Anderson was independent contractor, free to set hours, decline work. Comments were friendly workplace banter, not racial harassment. Miss Anderson is misinterpreting cultural differences as discrimination. Commissioner Rodriguez leans forward, voice sharp. Counsel, did Miss Anderson control her work schedule? She could decline. Did she? In 5 years, did she ever decline work without consequence? Hesitation. Not to my knowledge. Did she provide own tools, set rates, work for multiple clients? The nature of domestic work, well, counsel, answer directly. No, Commissioner. Then she was employee, misclassified, and regarding friendly banter. California law is explicit. Workplace harassment includes repeated comments about race regardless of claimed intent. You people directed at black employee is not ambiguous. Next witness. 11:45 a.m. Door opens. Gregory Schneider enters. Whitmore's face drains color. His attorney whispers urgently. Too late. Gregory walks to witness stand, sworn in, looks at Whitmore, looks away. Mr. Schneider, your relationship to defendant? I was Richard Whitmore's personal and corporate accountant 12 years. Did you have conversations regarding household employee classification? Yes. Multiple times, beginning 2018 through last year. He instructed me to classify all household staff, particularly women of color and immigrants, as independent contractors to avoid payroll taxes, benefits, overtime. I explained this was legally questionable. He told me do it anyway. His exact words, they won't complain, they need work too badly, and if they do complain, who's going to believe them over me? Complete silence. Every reporter writing, every camera recording. Why testify today? Gregory looks at Whitmore again. Because federal prosecutors offered immunity, and because I'm tired of being complicit. In 2021, Mr. Whitmore publicly humiliated me at business dinner when I questioned legality of his deductions, but mostly I'm testifying because I read the emails. I saw racial language, I saw how he talked about black and brown women who worked for him. I documented everything. I'm done protecting someone who treats human beings like disposable property. Room erupts. Commissioner Rodriguez bangs gavel 3 times. Order. 1:45 p.m. Commissioner delivers findings. Based on sworn testimony, documentary evidence, audio recordings, and financial records, this commission finds clear, willful, systematic violations of California Labor Code sections 1194, 1198, and 1199. Employee misclassification, systematic wage theft, hostile work environment with racial harassment, retaliation, pattern of exploitation across multiple victims, with evidence suggesting targeting of women of color and immigrants. This matter is referred to California Attorney General for criminal review. Civil penalties preliminary, $120,000. Parties ordered to enter settlement negotiations within 30 days. Hearing adjourned. Gavel down. 2:45 p.m. Maggie steps outside into sunshine. 140 people erupt in applause. Media surrounds her. One reporter. Miss Anderson, how does it feel? Maggie, still in Armani, looks into camera, voice calm, steady. I just wanted fair pay and to be seen as a human being. That's all any of us want. She walks to Emma's car, takes off Louboutin heels, hands them back. These hurt. Emma laughs. Beauty is pain. No, dignity isn't pain. Dignity is just dignity. It's not supposed to hurt. It only hurts when people try to take it from you. September 30th, settlement signed, $340,000 total, back wages $51,000, compensatory damages $180,000, civil penalties $89,000, attorney fees $20,000, but money isn't the point. Clause 12, defendant funds California Domestic Worker Training and Legal Rights Program, $2 million over 5 years, administered by Emma Clark's nonprofit, from his pocket to workers' hands. October 12th. Richard Whitmore resigns as CEO. Board statement, pursuing new leadership direction. Translation, forced out. Stock drops 34%. The empire crumbles. November 8th. California Assembly Bill 1956 introduced. The Margaret Anderson Domestic Workers Protection Act. Stricter enforcement. Mandatory written contracts. Severe penalties for misclassification. Specific protections against racial harassment. First reading, January 2025. If passed, protections for 2.3 million California domestic workers. December, the Armani dress donated to Smithsonian National Museum of American History. Exhibit February 2025. Tools of change. Objects that sparked movements. Near artifacts from Montgomery bus boycott. Placard. Sometimes visibility is the first act of revolution. This dress, worn by domestic worker Maggie Anderson, reminded America that dignity has no price tag and humanity has no uniform. Maggie's daughter, Emma, now 13, comes home from school. Mom, my teacher showed the video. She said you're an example of civil disobedience. I told everyone you're just my mom. Maggie smiles. I am just your mom. Who wore a dress? Who told the truth? Yeah, that's the brave part. They invited her as a joke. 3 laughing emojis. Come as you are. They expected embarrassment or absence, so they could laugh either way. She showed up as herself. Not the self they expected, but her real self. A black woman who knows her worth, who documented every violation, who borrowed an $8,000 dress not to pretend but to force them to see her as she already was. Human, worthy, unbreakable. In showing up, in refusing their script, in walking through those doors like a queen when they expected her to crawl, she changed everything. If this moved you, share it. Subscribe for more stories where justice wins. Remember, dignity isn't something they give you. It's something you carry, no matter what you wear, what you do, where you come from, or what color your skin is. One millionaire thought he could humiliate a black maid. Instead, she walked in like royalty. And 60 millionaires learned the most expensive lesson of their lives. Never underestimate someone who's been quietly preparing to destroy you.